Okay, hold on. The door will just open.
Okay, I guess we're filming now.
Alright. Do you want to introduce for your YouTube channel or for mine?
You can just introduce it and I'll steal it and upload it.
Hey guys.
Hi guys,
Hello.
welcome.
You want to see a funny... Look at that motherfucker. Welcome to a video. Today we're going to be making our year-end list, which is top 10 movies of the year. We only saw like 3 movies this year. Anyways, top 10 this year, there were some stinkers and we couldn't fill the list with all good stuff. So we have to start off with a bad movie first. At number 10, I saw The TV Glow. We both did.
We both saw the TV Glow.
And it was horrible. And it made me upset on many levels. Not just because I enjoyed the director's previous work. We're all going to the World's Fair, which was made by Alex G. Alex G returned this time, but he just didn't bring the tunes like he did last time. And also the story is extremely underwhelming and overwritten. And sounds like you're listening to 2 NPC characters in a video game talk over and over and over again.
There was also like so many like loose ends.
Yeah,
like they started on certain plots and never fully finished them.
But that's okay because this movie is very popular and hopefully James Schönborn makes another movie that's actually passable. Look at Willem again. Hold on. Look at this. Look at this motherfucker. There's gonna be a different shot for every time. How would you recommend this movie to people?
I think I can recommend it to a lot of people because there's a certain demographic of people that liked it.
A24.
A24 fan who are gay.
Next movie on our list, well, we'll say next movie on Nico's list is...
Oh, it's Anora. Is it?
You read.
Is this one's mine?
Yeah, you put Wicked.
I put Wicked on number 9. I watched Wicked. Watched the musical before, and I liked it better. I think it does better as a stage play than a movie. I think that they did a really good job, like, respectfully with the story, but they didn't really add anything new to it. I feel like if you're gonna make a movie on an already existing franchise, you should add something to it instead of just redoing the same story over and over again.
Facts. I have nothing to add, still haven't seen it. Number 9 for me is Anora. Everyone said this was the best movie that came out this year, and it's nowhere close. I've watched every Sean Baker movie except his first movie, 4-Letter Word, and I'm not missing out on much. Like, most of the time, he does this kind of disconnected fourth narrative, and usually it has a point. And this movie felt really like it was juggling 15 different things at the same time. And also just didn't have a lot to say about anything really substantive about the plot. Like, if you're gonna make a movie about a sex worker, at least like have 5 defining characteristics to this person outside of being loud and really mean. I didn't vibe with it, and I'm really surprised that the rest of the world did. Number 8, we both put Maxine.
We did. Yeah. I really liked the first... I liked Pearl a lot. And I did enjoy X, so I was really looking forward to Maxine coming out. Especially because they announced it like right after Pearl came out. I feel like I felt really disappointed with the ending. It built, like, the build up to the story was really good, even though it was really corny in a lot of ways because it was referencing a lot of, it kept trying to prove that it was an 80s movie. And then the ending, it kind of just went for like the cheapest route ever. Like,
We get it, it was the guy. Yeah. I was also very lukewarm on this movie when it came
I
out.
saw Pearl bits and pieces, I saw X bits and pieces, and I liked their aesthetic way more than anything that could be conjured up on this movie. Willem! What? Now it's just the orb.
oh my god, where am I?
Number 7.
I put Queer by Luca Guadagnino. I didn't finish the movie. I had to go and get therapy, like, for real. I did have to go get therapy.
Yes.
Not because of the movie, but maybe partly
Because of the movie.
because of the movie.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a rough watch. I'll say
Yeah.
that.
None of the characters are really that likable. It's a bunch of white people in Mexico City just being drunk,
Partying
and
it
drug
up.
addicts and gay. Not my movie.
Anyway, at number 7, I put Love Lies Bleeding. Because it kind of jumps the shark a little bit. Like, I get it. It has a goofy ass ending. She just becomes the Hulk and becomes big as hell and starts towering over the city, crushing buildings and stuff. It just sort of gets really ridiculous for no reason. It just has a weird ass tone. You know, you start off and it's very intense and kind of like a love thing. And then I'm supposing this has to wrap around to her. Her love is so big that her body cannot contain it. Her heart's so big. Oh no. I found those parts of their relationship to be the most interesting bits. And obviously like Kristen Stewart and I forget their name. It has like O'Brien in their name. You know what?
Yeah.
The other person is hot as hell.
Number 6, I put Anora. The reason why I put it a little bit higher on my list is because honestly watching it I did have a good time. Even though I really disagree with the way that they did the ending, and I don't really like the way that they wrote the main female lead.
Yeah.
She didn't really have any clear motivations other than what she needed, the plot. What she needed to
serve the plot for.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I had a good time watching them chase around for this guy. Like, it wasn't a bad experience in the movie. Like, I wasn't waiting for it to end. So
yeah, though I think the worst part of Anora is the way it ends, and everyone keeps praising that ending for being brave and like, oh, it's so like, oh, you're really seeing her like show emotion for the first time, but it's like you couldn't have done this in a more cliched, like, of course she's gonna take out her like. I'm not gonna spoil the ending. Actually, I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, but it's not the best. I also feel like, considering the type of character that they were going with her throughout half of the movie. Right. It doesn't really make the most sense to give her that kind of ending.
Yeah. Anyways, I saw Nosferatu on Christmas, so I'm putting it at number 6. It was a movie that is definitely not as good as like what people claim the source original material is. It's just Dracula. I mean, obviously the story of Nosferatu is just they changed the character names so they wouldn't get sued. The movie was not what I was expecting. We got freaky Nosferatu and the Tower of Evil or whatever. And everything's spoken in very old English, so they're going to be like, hear ye, hear ye. It looks great. I'm like not going to lie, Bill Skarsgård looks completely unrecognizable as Nosferatu. I did not know that was him. I just thought it was just a random vampire guy. And also Lily Rose Depp plays like the main girl in it, and I did not recognize her. I was like, who is this chick? Until I was like, it's the girl from The Idol. I'm sorry that she had to be recognized by that. It was a good movie. I mean, it's like a horror movie on Christmas, so.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, you did not watch that movie. All right, number 5.
Number 5, I put Kinds of Kindness. I think that there is a lot of good ideas for the movie. I just didn't really like the way that it fully went about it all the time. I do like that it was separated in 3 parts, and I like each individual story. I just wish that there was like little aspects of the character writing a bit different. I'm gonna be honest, I watch like every movie Emma Stone is in. She was the highlight of the movie.
Low key. I liked Willem Dafoe though.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe was pretty good too.
Number 5, I put Conclave. I was enticed because I was like, how do they select a new pope once the old one dies? And that's what this movie is, and it has a real twist ending. It's very well written. Like, there's good scenes, like, on their own. Like, there's a very good monologue by one of the priests when he's talking about what is truth and what is faith, because he's confronting his own religious faith at that current time. As a whole, it seems very strangely all over the place, and kind of there are bits and pieces throughout it. Like, there's a genuine Roman cardinal who is smoking a vape throughout this entire movie, and it's so distracting. He pops up and he'll just start vaping in the fucking cathedral. Like, I get it, the movie's supposed to be like modern, but like, come on, guys. It doesn't have to be fun. It was good, it was very well shot, it just was very like meandering, kind of convoluted, did not need to be 2.5 hours long. We're gonna go to number 4, which for you was?
Number 4 was Love Lies Bleeding. I do think that it started off, I agree with you that it started off like really serious, and then it went off into like a weird like surrealist direction where it was just kind of like being silly for no reason. But I think it was one of those movies that you kind of just watch to have a good time.
Turn your brain off. Yeah.
I also really enjoyed the lesbians.
Yeah, of course.
So it's kind of up there for me. Kristen Stewart has the same. She's the same character in everything. that
Yeah.
she is in. Very typecast.
At number 4, I put Kinds of Kindness. I like this movie a lot more than Nico, only because I like Yorgos Lanthimos, and I was coming into this movie expecting it not to be like Poor Things, but also for it not to be Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is another one of his movies that's people have been comparing this movie to. I really liked the three, it's called a triptych, I guess, in this circumstance, but I really liked the three stories. They function very much as like three separate paintings, just very like complete ideas, but just only covering one concept, and then combining all of them was interesting. And there's a lot of little things that happen in the stories that kind of point in directions, but a lot of it also feels like red herrings. They're trying to purposely confuse you to feel some way. The dialogue is very monotonous and very monotone and has no emotion in it, and they speak very directly and formally. I don't know if this is because Yorgos Lanthimos is a Greek guy and he just writes it that way. We're gonna get a little string action.
I will say, one thing that really did make me put Kinds of Kindness lower was mostly because of the second subplot, second story.
Yeah.
It had like a lot of themes about like what abuse and victimhood, where I feel like the story was kind of asking you to doubt the victim
yeah.
of abuse, which kind of made me like lower it a little bit.
The second story specifically, and bits and pieces of the third story with like the cult, I don't really like that purposely like dropped it like a 1.5 in my rating for it after. It's a very weird ride, and definitely gets its point across in a very gruesome way. For those who haven't seen it, it's on Hulu if you do really want to. Number 3, we have the same movie. We put Didi, the coming of age movie by Sean Wang, and it kind of, well, it made me cry. I'll say that. It made me tear up and cry because I'm like very close with my grandma, my mom, and my sister, and all of those things kind of play a role in this story to varying degrees. It's while watching it, I felt like I have never truly had a unique childhood in my life because I'm watching what this person went through, and it's almost the same kind of thing. You know, obviously there's huge differences, but you watch a movie and it feels so relatable to a certain degree that other coming of age movies like I don't know, like Perks of Being a Wallflower or even like Lady Bird, I just don't like, those movies don't really relate to me, and you would think I would because I live in Sacramento. But I thought it was a great movie, and so I'm putting it at number 3.
Yeah, I think it's, with coming of age movies, it's really hard for people to portray, especially nowadays, like the way that young people act and think, in a way that isn't corny or too nostalgic or like too cookie cutter. And I really feel like you see that movie and you can like really identify yourself with.
Yeah, it felt
aspects.
super specific, but like universal, obviously. I mean, we're an internet generation, so when the internet gets portrayed in like a more than favorable, or like it just seems more real because we grew up in a time where you saw it changing in real time. These websites used to look the way that people used to talk, the interactions between people, but it's almost as if, you know, nothing really changes. You know, we're all like very awkward shell people, you know, walking around. But yeah, no, it's a beautiful movie, and I'm very surprised it was a directorial debut. Like, for someone's first movie, it feels like they've been making movies 5-10 years already.
True.
Anyways, next.
For number 2, I put We Live in Time. It is a pretty average cancer movie. By that I mean like, there's a couple and one of them has cancer, and then they have to like kind of live life to the fullest until the end.
The Fault in Our Stars.
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to cancer movies, they're just trying to make you sad or inspired by the like smallest little things. But with this movie, it was more like actually trying to build a character and like know them as people and like see the way that like they can like this couple could interact with something so serious in a way that's like so gentle, and I really enjoyed that a lot. Also, I liked that there wasn't a lot of hospital scenes.
Yes, right.
Which is like nice because you can portray like cancer in ways that are creative, and a hospital.
At number 2, I put Queer. It's an interesting movie about a lot of things, I guess, but it's obviously based on William S. Burroughs' life because he is a drug addict. That's something you kind of have to go into this movie knowing. He was treated as like a second-class citizen, and when he went to Mexico, while he was still gay, which made him a bit of a social outcast, he was seen as a bit of a foreigner. So they all treated him not nicely. I mean, they still kind of treated him with hostility, some of them, but his social positioning was kind of interesting. During when this was all going on, it's all very interesting set dressing, but the character himself is very annoying and very proddy, nosy, arrogant, up his ass, kind of just not in. He's not a good guy, but you can see how somebody might find him alluring because he possesses something that almost seems like a hidden intellect or something. Like he's a writer. You get very brief glimpses of that. If you know anything about Burroughs, then you kind of know obviously he's a writer, or else this story wouldn't exist. But I always found his portrayal of it kind of interesting, very different from the Cronenberg portrayal, which gave him a very stoic, like he's like a police officer at that point. But in this movie, you get to see these very gentle moments of him yearning and trying to basically caress this man who he is very in love with. Those scenes all resonated with me, maybe not his personal reasonings for them, but I felt very connected to that sense of yearning being portrayed that way. And there were some genuinely very effective moments. You weren't there for the trip scene, but I think the way that they went about, trying psychedelics and the way that it came on and the way their afterwards happened was a very beautiful meditative way to go about it. I was very enthralled by the movie, and obviously it's done by Luca Guadagnino, one of my favorite directors. And so I give a little bit of, I let him do style over substance when it feels right, So yeah, I've gushed enough about Queer. Let's talk about something else. Well, we're still talking about Luca Guadagnino because our number 1 pick is Challengers.
Yes.
You want to talk about Challengers for a minute?
I don't know. It had good energy. It kept your attention the whole time.
Yeah.
Zendaya looked good.
Heavenly.
And I enjoy tennis.
Right? Yeah.
I enjoyed the drama.
Right? No, I love a good movie that makes the tennis seem like the two characters are fucking. Especially coming from Luca Guadagnino. He doesn't make a lot of straight stories, and when he does, they're completely unhinged. If it's not cannibalism, I suppose it's going to be two or three actually, because this is really a love triangle movie. Three very lost people trying to find their purpose, but all holding desperately onto each other because it's more comfortable, I suppose. Challengers is a hard one for me because I haven't rewatched it since I watched it. You have. I have not. And so the effect of watching it is still kind of over me. You know how overwhelmed I felt by the editing, the score, the ending of that movie really is kind of ambiguous, though Wikipedia likes to disagree with me. I don't want to take their word as fact, though. It's weird, it's all very well made. It's written by Justin Kurtzwitz, who's the potion seller guy. I'll throw him on screen right now. He also wrote Queer, but Queer is an adaptation. This is his own original thing, and you can really see why Luca was very enthralled by this. Saw it on the page and was like, we gotta put this on the screen now, and we gotta get Zendaya, and we gotta get those other two British guys to get in this. And they have really good American accents in this movie.
Yeah, you couldn't even tell that they were British.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, we only watched this movie for Zendaya, but it ended up being the best movie of 2024. So yeah, no, that's pretty much the end. Do you want to add anything else about Challengers?
2025, get better movies, please.
Seriously, bro, the bottom half of our list was ass, okay? We only had maybe 2 or 3 good movies this year, okay? So we're betting on you,
We're begging you.
The entire film industry. Yeah, that's our video. Subscribe to their YouTube channel.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification. Subscribe to our Patreon.
Venmo me.
Yeah, we have a
Right now.
Ko-Fi account. We're going to be doing $5 donations for custom videos. If you want us to stand in the teal room, making.
I will sell feet pics if I get to.
All right, let's stop. All right.